Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor. Today we're bringing you yet another battle report from the bridge of Tier 10 German cruiser Battleship Hindenburg. Ha ha ha! That's right, kids. Since Update 9.0 dropped here on North America, the Church of Hindenburg has been raking in the new converts, and it's been a glorious, glorious thing to witness. So, for those of you that aren't familiar, we'll give you some of the sordid history of Tier 10 German cruiser Hindenburg. About a year and a half ago-ish or so, Hindenburg was a very, very popular ship in clan battles. Might even be farther back than that. I don't remember the dates exactly. But there was a season, probably back around season 2 or 3, that Hindenburg was super popular and highly effective in clan battles. And apparently, after one season of effectiveness, bam! Nerf bat. That's all it took. Oh my god, everybody's playing Hindenburg. We gotta crush that. Nerf it into the ground. And so they nerfed her reload speed. Now, at the time, I remember going on record saying that this would not severely harm the ship. And let's be brutally honest, for playing the ship in randoms, it really didn't make a notable difference. But in clan battles, where every little scrap of HP and every little scrap of damage, every little stinking advantage matters. It basically ran the ship out of clan battles. You never saw it again, basically. It was quickly replaced by Henri Catherine, who had like 4 seasons of complete dominance in the cruiser world before somebody was like, maybe we should do something about this. Anyways, I have never quit my love affair with this ship. She's excellent. She's well-rounded. She's fairly tanky. She's got a lot of HP. Her guns are great. They're easy to use. So I was super glad to discover in 9.0 when they decided they were going to go back to bringing her reload speed back to actually slightly better than it was before they nerfed it. And so here we are in the early days of patch 9.0, playing one of my favorite ships in the game, Tier 10 German cruiser Hindenburg, spawning on the north side of Hotspot. Now, what you're going to see me do in probably the first 5 to 7 minutes of this match is a very common tactic that you frequently see teams do in Hotspot. Play Hotspot on clan battles, right? You send cruisers way over to the one line, you angle out, as I'm kind of turning to angle out here, and your job is basically to prevent the push. You're there to hold the line, to make sure that nobody pushes up this 1-2 line and flanks your forces that are on the north side of this cap circle. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And in the meantime, I've got my spotter plane up. I'm just trying to farm some cheeky early damage. Now, as you can probably gather by looking at how I've configured my ship, what I've done here is I've swapped from catapult fighter to spotter plane for the temporary range boost. I am not running range mod in slot 6. I am running reload mod in slot 6. So my base range is only 17.8, which is not great for a top tier cruiser, not by modern standards. But it is what it is, and that's how I've chosen to equip the ship for this battle. You also see there I've taken defensive fire. For a while there after the patch, I ran my Hindenburg in a full-on troll AA build. But as you tend to find when you do that, you don't get enough carriers to justify the points. So shortly after this game, I have gone back to running Hydro. Now, early on, I'm trading shots with long-range shots with another Hindenburg, with this Thunder, whose 18-inch high explosive shells keep irritating me. What I really want that Kurfürst to pop back up. I was doing really good damage to that guy. But in the meantime, just, slinging shots on what I can. Again, my goal here is just to get some cheeky, early chip damage and keep them from getting too adventurous and pushing up this direction. Now, we've done that so far. The Hindenburg has turned around. The Thunder is also angled away as he manages to bag a fire. We don't know where the gearing is, and the Kurfürst was last sighted continuing to push north, so we're just not sure where he is at the moment. My team's doing a really good job of capping A. As we see there, we've capped A. And the enemy team doesn't seem to have sent enough force over to D to do anything about it, so in a minute, we're going to have a pretty solid little lead here on cap points with 5 minutes gone. Now, there's enough battleships over here. There's a Thunder, a Montana, and a Kurfürst, all with the ability to do something about a push up this line, so I feel like I won't say my job is complete, but I've done what I intended to do early on, so I'm kind of cutting back into the center here to be a little more useful. At this point, I don't seriously expect anybody to come charging up the 1-2 line, just because there's not really any value in it right now. Nobody to shoot at, kind of scanning the horizon. The Kurfürst is finally spotted on the south side of that island. And due to the way my shell arcs, my ballistics work, I'm able to drop shells in on over the island. This is a low portion of this island, over the island onto his deck, as long as I guess kind of where he is correctly. And as you can see there, I'm able to do that with pretty good accuracy. Some of this is experience, right? When you play this ship, you play any ship, you start to learn the ballistics. Or you can also do what I'm doing here. You can follow those shells in and start to learn, hey, I need to go, too shallow, they're too far. You can always watch your own salvos like that if you want by hitting the Z key. That will allow you to follow shells or torpedoes in the water. But in the meantime, just kind of reversing, playing games with my engine and my rudder, farming this curve first. Team's done a pretty decent job. We're a little short-handed over at D, but the enemy team doesn't seem super interested in pushing into the cap, which is a little surprising. We are down a ship, despite having a lead. Had a nice double fire there on the curve first. Looks like we've got a superstructure fire and a stern fire as he decides he is coming out. He's pushing around. Now, he's pushing into a Minotaur, a Shimakaze, and a Montana over there on the 1 line. So, this guy is not in a great position. Now, he probably has his Hydra up, so he easily dodges the Minotaur torps there. But his slow speed and just the sheer volume means that he pretty much can't dodge all the Shimakaze torps. He takes 2 of those, and as my salvo goes in, it's enough pens through his superstructure for us to claim our first kill as a team. I look for some shots on this gearing, but that's just a terrible salvo. Those aren't going anywhere, and I shouldn't have even bothered with it, but it didn't matter. I wasn't spotting anything, but that was a terrible salvo. Enemy Kerfer seems to want to repeat the mistake that enemy Kremlin seems to want to repeat the mistake that his friendly Kerfers just made, and is continuing to push up the 2 line, again pushing into a Minnow, a Shimakaze, and a Montana. Now, I won't pretend the Montana's doing all that great. I mean, if you look at his angle, he's showing that Kremlin a perfect flat broadside, so he's kind of begging to get wrecked. But doesn't seem like that's going to matter as I go for some shots on the 500 HP Kleber that no one has managed to get off the board yet. And of course, I don't either. Yes, it's a 0. Yes, it's a penetration. I hit him, but it's obviously a 0 damage penetration. Otherwise, he'd be dead. Yay, shell mechanics! Gremlin's still coming, kids. Lordy, he coming. Well, I mean, they're doing good work. Keeping him, doing things, trying to hold him back, but it's not stopping. Our Kerfurst in the cap is going to eat some combination of gearing or Kleber, Shimakaze torpedoes. So the Shimakaze that you see there on the minimap that was at D is no longer at D. He's now south of A. It's interesting information. As we start trying to help our team with this Kremlin, who, again, has decided he's had enough of this crap, and he's coming around the corner. He'll be coming around the island when he comes. Lord have mercy. Now, I realize at that moment that the Stalingrad has a really good shot on me. Stalingrad is one of those ships that Hindenburg is highly allergic to. Look at that, Leclerc on 12 HP. But Hindenburg is highly allergic to Stalingrad. His high-velocity AP shells do such horrible things to me. It's just, it's criminal. Team manages to bag the Kleber, the low-health Kleber, and the Kremlin that was climbing up the 2 line. He is out as well. So we're even on ships, but we've owned 3 caps for so long that we have a pretty solid lead here as we approach the halfway mark of the match. Stalingrad decides he's noping out. I'm not going to have shots on him for much longer. As our gearing detonates their gearing, that feels pretty good. My main goal at the moment was just to keep the Stalingrad honest and not eat crap from him, as the Hindenburg, there's a Hindenburg over there, now he's trying to push up the 2 line. I don't understand why all of these ships just seem content to just keep feeding themselves into this meat grinder, but that's literally what's happening. As I realize I'm going to get shots around this island, I swap over to the AP there with my expert loader, and I line up for this shot, and I'm angling. Okay, I want to get some AP in here. Okay, there we go. We take the shot. Shells inbound, and nope, Shimakaze takes care of it. As on my port side, a Thunderer pops up in the cap. Now, if there's few things that I enjoy in life as much as a good brawl in a Hindenburg. And so when I see this Thunderer, my immediate reaction is, oh, heck yeah, let's get up in this guy's face and torpedo him. What I don't know until right there as I pull back and I see the smoke, oh crap, the other gearing is in here with him. And I don't have hydro. So this is going to be an exciting engagement, kids. So watch how we have to pull this off. First thing I'm going to have to do is try and stay unspotted. That's the challenge. I dump one port launcher into the smoke. Might get lucky. At a minimum, I might drive the gearing out. As I cut back to port, the smoke cloud that he laid will eventually block line of sight from the Thunderer. That's what I'm waiting to happen right now. But unfortunately for me, there's a Shimakaze. You see him there on the map. Shimakaze's over on my port side, way out over at point blank with the Thunderer. I proxy detect the gearing. I'm having to charge the gearing to find him in smoke. I found him at more than 2 kilometers because he was firing out of his smoke. He's dead. Excellent. I'm still lit, but I don't know where the Thunderer is because of the smoke. And now, in a moment, the Thunderer can still see me because I had been fired. I had fired, and so I was still visible out of the smoke. Again, smoke mechanics, understanding how this all works, plays a big part in this engagement. So I'm point blank with this guy. I only have one port launcher here, so I swap to the AP, and I go for the casemate. This is reliable. And it's all over pins. I literally watched those shells go to the other side. He slams his stern turrets into me. I'm on 1,000 HP. My second salvo, 12 shatters on the belt. But my secondary gunners take pity on me and save my dumb butt from what should have been the end of my ship. I do love a good brawl in a Hindenburg, but brawling with things with 18-inch guns feels pretty rocky, kids. I'm not going to lie. 20 seconds on the timer. All we have to do is not die. There is a Shimakaze right up ahead of me. What I'm trying to do right now is cut back to port. I want to get into this smoke to hide my ship so the Shimakaze doesn't take a shot at me. But the smoke is expiring, and I'm kind of already committed to this course, so screw it. I'm going to bring my guns back to port, load the HE, get in a gunfight with this Montana. But before I can do that, time ticks away. And there we have a nice, simple win in Battleship Hindenburg. Brawling in this game is so much fun, but it is one of those things where you have to make decisions in such a short amount of time that it's very, very easy to make mistakes. And I made more than a few in that engagement, but the toughness of my ship, and honestly, the decision to not double up on that torpedo launch on the port side is what made a big difference there. If I had dumped both of the port torpedo launchers looking for the gearing in the smoke, that would have been a very, very different engagement. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that one. Get out there, play your Hindenburg, join us, become a convert to the Church of Hindenburg, and I'll catch you next time.